By the way, I know you're here for Triple H. I'm not an idiot. So we have a mic. Who's got the... All right, there we go. We got a mic. So ask any question, anytime, about anything. And then I'm going to do fake questions, real answers, Vegas style, only Vegas questions, because I used to work here for 7 years and almost got killed by a mobster. That is a true story. We'll get to that in a second. All right.
What's your gambling lock of the year?
No such things as locks, but I will say... as a game, I think the Cleveland Browns over 9.5 wins. It's now at 10. I already bet it. I would still bet it. I think Cleveland's got the 6th easiest schedule. If you look at how Baker played once, they didn't have a preseason last year. So once the season got going with Stefanski, Baker had 2 seasons. The first 10, the last 6 or 7. If you look at the analytics of his last 7, they were excellent. The offensive line gelled. Stefanski's an excellent coach. Their schedule's weak. There's a lot of teams at the end of the year that will either rest starters or will be done. So I think Cleveland's an 11 to a 12 win team. That's my best over under. I will say this though, a really interesting bet, the number's big, is Kansas City -6 in week 1 against Cleveland. Why? Because the best coach in football 30 years in September is Andy Reid. The last game they played, they were humiliated. They've had a very intense camp. Secondly, Cleveland's got 8 new guys defensively. They'll be really good. They probably won't be really good week 1. Also, Stefanski's resting a lot of his starters in preseason. So I think Cleveland loses the opener and then wins about 7 straight.
So of the 5 quarterbacks that are drafted in the first round, who do you think is going to have the most success?
Okay, of the 5 rookie quarterbacks. So let's not count Jordan Love. He's not a rookie and he won't play. So as you know he won't play this year. Aaron's going to start. So generally speaking, unless you're Andrew Luck talented, it pretty much is where you land. So Mac Jones is not as talented, I don't think, as Zach Wilson, but literally it's a Mercedes. Top 3 offensive line, according to PFF. Schedule isn't terribly difficult. They play the Jets twice, 2 wins. Rebuilding Carolina, Atlanta. They get 2 go-either-way games at home, Tennessee, Dallas. So Mac Jones will probably be, if he starts, the winningest of the young quarterbacks. Not much of a playmaker. They're not going to ask him to do that. I don't think he starts in the first 2 to 3 games. Zach Wilson's in trouble. Most of it is institutional. Left tackle weighs 370. It's a mess. The Jets have acknowledged it's a mess. They just lost Denzel Sims, their best pass rusher. This stuff really is not about how talented the quarterback it is. It's really about, I'll speak for myself in my career. When you're young somewhere, you need help. And the reality is, Bill O'Reilly was floating around broadcasting forever and none of you heard of him. Then he got a really good boss and became a star. The younger you are, the more support you need. Rookie quarterbacks with bad owners never works. Never works. So Jets aren't well run, it'll be trouble. New England is, he'll win a bunch of games. That kid right there.
How do you feel about the Jets over and under?
It's the right number. I think their over-under is it 6 and a, if it was 6, I'd stay away. If it was 6.5, I'd go under. It'll be so much about protection. Really interesting. Their opening week against Carolina is the Jets got lucky. Now, they just lost Lawson for the year, which sucks. But Carolina's got a bad O-line, and the Jets have a great D-line. That could be a nice road win for them. They're a 4-point dog. I would take the Jets to cover, probably to win. That's a really good opening game for them because Carolina's left tackle, they just drafted. He's 22. He's not ready for that D-line. That's a really good break for the Jets' schedule. But overall, they got a lot of issues, most of them institutional. Boom over there. Yes.
When Triple H comes out, could you ask him to share my most recent YouTube video I made about him?
Well, I haven't seen that. So Paul Levesque may be a little hesitant to do that. I've got good questions for him. He's very rare. He's a business success, married Stephanie. He was a guy that would lose big matches and not lose popularity. He's like Conor McGregor, which is very rare. Like he would lose and people would like him just as much or more, which is it really speaks well of his kind of brand. All right, well, hold on. We got anybody back here? All right, somebody back here.
What do you think about Trey Lance, Pride of North Dakota?
Trey Lance needs to play more. North Dakota is a great program. They beat Eastern Washington, my alma mater, 2 years ago. Really good program, really good coaches. They got NFL players on the roster. So he just needs snaps. He's I think the other day we looked it up. He's completed 20 passes in 583 days. He literally hasn't played. So Jimmy's going to start. John Lynch is a buddy of mine. Jimmy Garoppolo's going to start. Trey Lance will play. He's really good. Nice kid. I met him. Nice kid. All right, fire away.
So what do you think the odds are for the Rams to win the Super Bowl this year?
I liked it a lot more when Cam Akers didn't get hurt. That's a killer. They have no running backs. And Sean McVay's offense is really a running offense. They masquerade it so you all think it's a passing offense. It's really a running offense. They don't have a running game. I just talked to Les Snead 2 nights ago. It's a problem. They may go out and buy somebody on the market. Like, it's a real problem. Good team, but you can't play Seattle twice, San Francisco, and not have a running game. You just can't. You got to be physical. That guy.
What do you think about the Cowboys this year?
I'd like it a lot better if Dak wasn't hurt. So when you get a second MRI, something's not right. I mean, when Troy Aikman's worried, when Michael Irvin's worried, when Gil Brandt's worried, it's like, that's a problem. So I don't love Mike McCarthy. I have kind of I don't know. He doesn't have the energy. I like young coaches. I mean, I like Pete Carroll, Tomlin, Belichick, but I like these young coaches. They're new. They think differently, big energy. I think Dallas will be. I have them getting into the playoffs at 9-8, but I don't think they're a team that wins multiple playoff games.
Which rookie running back do I want to draft in fantasy this year?
As I've always said, I have a lot of fantasies. None of them are in sports. I do not play fantasy sports. I gamble on games. Best underdog running back. Well, I thought at the end of last year, I would try to find people who were very good late, and I thought Jonathan Taylor late was a total rock star. He didn't get big numbers because he didn't play a ton early, and they have depth at running back, but I think Jonathan Taylor, the last 4 or 5 weeks, looked fantastic. Also, he hasn't been beaten up in the NFL. Also, they have a good O-line. Also, they have a quarterback as a coach. That's an offense that he's going to get a lot of touches. Also, Carson Wentz is hurt. So what don't they want to do? Have Carson Wentz drop back 35 times. So Jonathan Taylor's going to get a lot of touches. He can also catch. He also has track speed, so he'll break stuff. So to me, that's the steal. I don't know if it's a steal. You play fantasy, but to me, that would be a running back I'd go get.
Hey, Colin, how long do you think it's going to take Heupel to get run out of UT?
Tennessee's funny. So, you ever met anybody in your life where you can't figure out why they're not more successful? Like, they work hard and they're, pretty smart and they're good people, and you're like, they can't get their shit together. That's Tennessee football. There's something's wrong in the water. You can't have that good a fan base, that much money, that good a stadium, that good a recruiting base, and not win. I don't understand Tennessee football. I just don't get it. I went there years ago to a game. I couldn't even believe it. I was in awe. I mean, the boats, the stadium, the fans. It's the best college environment I've ever been to in my life. How they're not even close to Alabama. Alabama's a smaller state with 2 top 15 programs. How does Tennessee not have one? I don't get it.
What do you think about Ohio State Buckeyes this year?
I think they're really good. I think they have a really smart coach. I would be surprised. I think Clemson is only an underdog in 1 game. Ohio State may be an underdog in 1 or 2. I'd be surprised if they don't end up in the playoff. Their recruiting since Urban got there has been phenomenal. I mean, they come out west, steal players. So they've done a really good job. to get really high-end perimeter players, corners and receivers out of Florida, and it's hard because you're recruiting against Florida, Bama, SEC. So I think they've done. They've always had linebackers and linemen. Ohio State's always good, but their wide receiver corners are insane.